How's it going, everybody? So, this is new footage. This is shot in 2024. I came back from Europe and went scuba diving. Surprise! And surprise, I filmed some really interesting gobies. So, this one is resting in the sand. There is this whole assembly of small grayish brownish gobies where I'm not even sure about the ID, and there is a skeleton shrimp next to it. Now, this is an individual of Gobies decoratus. These are really among the most common small gobies in the sand here. They're either alone or in small groups, and you can see this one is feeding. So when I was diving, the visibility wasn't great. There were a lot of suspended particles, and one man's bad visibility is another gobies buffet. So these gobies were really feasting. Now, even though these gobies are small, they are not helpless and boring. And so what I'm showing you here, this is a peacock, a male peacock displaying, and this is a gorilla displaying by pounding her chest. Now, gobies do that too. And how do they display? How do they show that, I'm a big fish, I'm here. I own this real estate, just like the peacock or the gorilla. Now, they erect their dorsal fin. Of course, that's the big fin on the back. So this is a individual of Cryptobenthic inframaculatus. This is not a particularly frequently seen goby. It's also feeding, and it's a male, I believe, judging from that dorsal fin. And the dorsal fin is up. Now, there are in most goby species almost no external sex differences between males and females, but if there's such a sex difference in a goby species, it's almost always the shape of this dorsal fin. Here comes another Gobies decoratus. So even though this one was displaying, this was a really small fish, probably a centimeter and a half in length, and this Gobies is probably a giant, probably 4 centimeters. So it took the space in front of my camera over. Now, a goby which is very prominently displaying its dorsal fin is this Randall shrimp goby. So this is footage from Apo Island. So, if you see gobies, check their displaying behavior. Very interesting. Okay. This is a goby of the species Gobies falena, and these are very well camouflaged in the seagrass. So also really interesting behavior, and they're acting in this very inconspicuous way, and they're blending in really nicely. So you just need to move a few meters, a little bit deeper, and this is Olympus canonides. So these have burrows, but they don't live with shrimp. Quite interesting. There is this transition between shrimp gobies and burrow-living gobies without a shrimp. So now this is a piece of seaweed. This is an algae, and there's a fish. Can you see a fish here? You have to look closely, and you have to visually break the camouflage. So what we are seeing here is a robust ghost pipefish, and here it was hunting. So you see the interesting jaws of these fishes. These are distant relatives of the seahorses and pipefish, and they have this suction snout, which allows them to suck. It's like a pipette, and it allows them to suck in minute shrimp, which are there in the sand. Now, this is a highly camouflaged animal, and they're very clever in using this camouflage. So this was a sandy area, a typical muck diving area. But then there was this one piece of algae, and the fish very cleverly decided to stick next to that algae. You can also see its gill covers moving, so it's not swimming very fast, so it has to move its gill covers in order to pump fresh oxygen-rich water over its gills. highly interesting fish. Now, what do we have here? We're in the seagrass, and is this a dead leaf which got stuck in between the seagrass? By the way, seagrass are vascular plants, these are not algae. No, this is a cockatoo waspfish, and that fish belongs to the Tetrarogide, the waspfishes, and they are relatives of the scorpion fishes, so they're in the same order. Now, just like the scorpion fishes, this is a very venomous fish. So these elongated dorsal fin spines is something you don't want to touch. This fish also, it plays the part. It not only does it look like a dead leaf, it tries to act like a dead leaf. And the thing is that I saw this fish during a night dive, so it's fairly rare to see them during the day, although it happens. And they just rest in between the leaves of the seagrass, and they're lie-in-wait predators, and they make sure that they're not seen by any larger fish. So they have this double safety net really going on. They're highly camouflaged and they're highly venomous. And the fish also prefers to walk, not swim. This is another thing that's shared with a lot of the scorpion fishes and stonefishes. So I'm linking to a video made about the Indian walkman, which is a kind of stonefish which we also see frequently. And here the fish also tries to cover itself, at least partially, with sand. So these are strategies which are really used of fishes in that whole order of scorpion fishes and stonefishes. Now, a little bit more interesting fish biology going on here. This is a lizardfish, and it's escaping from me approaching. And now we're looking at this escape in slow motion. I've linked to very interesting escape reflex. Now, finally, we have a cornet fish. So these we see at night and during the day, and they're kind of these sneaky predators that they would sneak up onto prey, and their very elongated body shape itself is camouflage. This is so different from any regular fish shape that it's just a animal which is very difficult to see for other fish. So lots of good stuff going on. Now, if you enjoy my video, support the channel by liking, subscribing, and buying my book. So there's The Lives of Gobies, which you can get from the webpage of Asian Geographic, and on Amazon and directly via Hübner, you can get this ebook, Your Brain on Diving, which is about diving physiology and what goes on in your brain when you free dive or scuba dive. So see you soon.